You know what? You know what I'm tired of hearing about?
What's up?
Everybody has an opinion on Lori Harvey and Michael B. Jordan. What I tell you, I never really was that vested in the relationship anyways. I'm like, okay, if they're happy, that's cool. If they're not, okay, that's cool. They're not together anymore. But a lot of people have all these theories and have so much commentary on the relationship. And there's like conspiracy theories and shit out there now. Now, I will say one does kind of make sense to me, though. I mean, I'm not saying it.
I haven't heard much. Like, I ain't really been...
I haven't even been trying to. And it's just like in my face. So like I saw a video where they were talking about how Lori Harvey and Michael B. Jordan is a PR stunt because his image needed to be, you know, redone in the eyes of like black women for him to be with a black woman. Because there was like some video or some footage of him with like hosting like a party or something like that, and there were no black women in sight. And so they were like, black women, he don't fuck with black women. And of course, black women think he's attractive. Women think he's attractive, period. But so that was his part. And then they were also saying as far as Lori Harvey, because she had dated so many different guys and they weren't serious relationships or whatever like that, she needs to rebrand herself to get with like a good guy.
Yeah, because she had been with like...
She's been with Future,
Diddy. Both Diddy
and Quincy.
Damn. And then she was with like... not Tory Lanez, but what's the other one that looked just like him?
I barely know Tory Lanez.
What's the other little singing cat that everybody like? No,
I don't know.
The one that's like R. Kelly.
Trey?
Yeah, was she with him?
Trey?
Yeah.
Trey Songz and Tory Lanez look alike.
To me, they do.
I don't know. They both.
They can be brothers to me.
But yeah, she her reputation was what it was, so that it's like a PR stunt that they were together, and then they finally break up because it doesn't have like shit coming out.
Yeah, I think he got some shit coming out.
So sure. Again, it's not outside the realm.
Because there's also the rumor that he may be in like the new Black Panther movie too.
Oh yeah, I heard that too.
So I don't know. Maybe he's trying to get the stock up because getting them sympathy votes and shit right now.
I don't know. And then it's so funny because like he was at like one of the finals games.
Oh yeah, he was at the basketball game,
and they put the camera on him, and he's like. And people are writing like think pieces.
They was like, "Oh, look at him! He's the sadness in his eyes."
To me, he looks the same as he always did.
You can see he's been crying, and they was like, "Hey, I seen him when he walked in. He didn't even greet anyone. He didn't even seem as excited to be at the game as he usually is."
Child,
I could tell he's hurting from the breakup.
People are so good about trying to point out what other people, strangers, are feeling, and don't even be in tune with their own shit. That shit is so annoying to me.
Yeah.
It's so annoying to me. Like, just whether it was a PR stunt or whether it wasn't, I don't care.
At the end of the day, I mean, it don't really...
What they eat don't make me shit. Ain't that the quote?
That's what they say.
I don't care. But what I do care about is how these men are bashing Lori Harvey and making Michael B. Jordan as like this saint. But then when just last week, Russell Wilson was considered corny.
Yeah, but they was calling him corny too for a minute.
Yeah, exactly. But now, he's 35 and she's 25, and she should have let him know that she didn't want to be married and didn't want to. Who's to say she didn't? I know a lot of relationships where someone will openly say, "Hey, I'm not looking for this or for that," and the other person's like, "Okay, that's fine," and then they still acting like they can change their mind. So
yeah. People change their mind, I guess.
These are literally niggas that are getting food stamps that are talking about what's going on with Lori Harvey and Michael Jordan, and then having full blown paragraphs written.
Oh yeah, they're writing theses,
arguments.
Yeah, boy, they going to war over it.
I'm just like, it's so annoying. It's so freaking annoying to me.
That's the new hot thing. Everybody want to talk about it because it's the new hot thing.
Y'all are dumb. Y'all need to go to therapy and figure your shit out. Y'all are dumb. I'm sick of hearing about it.
You know what? Hey, welcome back to another wonderful episode of the Jay and Hater Podcast.
Welcome back. How you feeling?
Hey, I'm good, man. How about yourself?
I'm good.
Now that you done got the Lori Harvey thing off your chest.
I ain't talking about this shit no more. Date them all. I'm not talking about this shit no more.
Good. Hopefully everybody else is almost done talking about it too.
Man, this is almost as bad as the slap.
Can't be.
It's almost
because they still talking about the
slap.
slap. Because Jada just came out and was talking about saying some bullshit the other day that I didn't listen to because I ain't even gonna quote it because I
That's
ain't
the only
listened to
news
it.
that I've heard about the slap in like the past week. So
no, because Kristen responded and some other shit and some other.
See,
shit,
I haven't even, that hasn't reached me yet, so I don't care. But they're gonna be talking about this for a minute because niggas. But anyways, other than that, it's I'm good. How are you?
Like I said, man, I'm straight.
You know what? I'm not gonna lie because I haven't been 100% this week, but that is okay. That's okay. I own that and I accept that and I'm working through that.
Yeah.
But anywho, so
we said we wanted to kind of switch it up this week, right?
We're gonna switch it up this week.
So we have been having a lot of people come to us about, different topics, right? But the main thing that's been coming out is people have been like, how can I have the conversation to my partner about being satisfied?
Or how to satisfy
my partner.
The sex talk. Ever since we first started, we've been requested to do a sex episode. So guess what?
I even might well give it to him.
I mean, give it to him raw and uncut. So yeah, we're gonna talk about how to satisfy your partner. At least, again, these are just opinions from Jay and Hayden.
Hey, because we're not proven professionals.
However, I feel like we kind of have a good idea what we're talking about.
And sometimes some shit just makes sense.
Right. So that's where we're coming from. Coming from a place of help. You can take this advice. You take it with a grain of salt.
Definitely not saying I'm always right.
Take it with some X. I don't care. Whatever you take it with. But yeah.
Himalayan sea salt. It's a smoked one.
We have some of that. But anyway. So the first thing when it comes to satisfying your partner, a lot of people confuse intimacy with sex.
I mean, because that's the same thing, right? Because a lot of dudes think intimacy is essentially sex.
It's not. Intimacy
being intimate.
We say that. No, intimacy is more of just the emotional feelings. Sex is
like intimacy is like holding hands and kissing a nigga and hugging them and shit.
No,
right?
Intimacy isn't even that because that's it. Sex is physical. And even with the PDA and stuff, but intimacy is just having that emotional connection.
Okay.
Those warm feelings.
Some butterflies
in
and
your
shit.
heart. The butterflies. Not because you had like regular milk instead of almond milk. But
I mean, I guess for dudes, you'd be like, hey, I just want to lay here for like another 15 minutes with you.
Because you just feel warm and fuzzy.
Yeah, you kind of like it a little bit. You don't want to acknowledge you like it, but you like it. That's the intimacy part.
Y'all be sitting there talking to us on the phone with y'all legs kicked up and your ankles crossed and I know y'all do it.
I don't know about that.
I ain't never had nobody show me other things that you can show me. Anyway, so the first thing is intimacy is emotional and sex is more physical. So when it comes to that intimacy, I feel like especially for women, okay. I am I'm not speaking for all women, but I feel like I'm speaking for a majority of women. We need to be romanced.
Okay.
At least a little bit. Romance your partner, woo them, old school, woo them, court them, whatever y'all want to say.
Right. I mean, I'm a firm believer in that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like you said, I don't. Damn, I'm stumbling on my words.
Look at you. You get nervous? You nervous?
No.
Nervous
I'm just saying.
sex?
I hate when people wait to like special key mark days to celebrate, to give gifts. Or to let their partner know that they love them. You know what I'm saying?
Or to show any type, to build more of that intimacy.
Right. Yeah. You shouldn't wait till
birthdays, Christmas. Right.
The traditional days, you know what I'm saying? Just show up one day and be like, hey, I know you was talking about this thing. I ordered this shit for you on Amazon or whatever. I was thinking about you. Just to let a nigga know that you're thinking about it. Some people, you just fail to let your partner know that you at least think about them.
Right. Think about them. Especially, and again, I'm only speaking from the female perspective, but the little things. Like, when you go to the grocery store or when you go to the store, gas station or whatever, and you bring our favorite chips because we didn't have to say that we liked them. I know you like these Funyuns, girl. There you go. Yeah. You know what I mean? Or just even little cute texts throughout the day.
Yeah, for sure.
Because women, we communicate a lot. Right. You know, from the time, when kids are small, I mean, this is when we were growing up, boys had cars and trains and stuff, and they or G.I. Joes and they're fighting and stuff. Yeah, but we're like having dolls and conversations and cooking with easy baked ovens.
You really be talking to them and stuff?
Yes, talk to my child, the fuck? But so we're big on communicating. So a lot of us want that random text message throughout the day.
I can see that.
because to me, my thing is when you're dating me, it's like a job. So if I don't hear from you for a whole day, that's a no call, no show.
But do you think? Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah.
But do you think a lot of females don't realize a lot of guys also like to be text first?
And you know what? I do think that a lot of us don't think of it
because
that
it shows
way.
mutual interest, and I
Right.
think people kind of lose that in some way.
I think that's where some there is opportunity for some females to kind of increase that intimacy as far as the men, because I do realize that men, like you said, men kind of want to be romanced too.
Right.
Men don't always want to initiate.
I ain't saying a
And I
nigga want
feel like-
flowers or nothing.
I feel like the older I got, the more I realized, look, I'm not going to sit here and wait. I'm not going to wait for you to say something. I'm going to say something.
Right.
And have that initiative. But in my 20s, I never would have thought that way.
Right. And like you said, and also a part of being like romance, and from a guy's perspective, right? Like a lot of guys don't want to always be the first to initiate any type of, I ain't gonna say any type of contact, right? But let's just say I come in the house and sometimes I might want you to just come up and hug me for a change. I don't want to have to come chase you down all over the house. You know what I'm saying? To get a little piece of sugar.
Especially if you're walking in the house and they're just sitting there or they're not doing anything. But if I'm in the middle of washing dishes, you can't 100% expect me to be like, oh, let me put these dishes up. Hey,
yeah,
baby.
for sure.
But yeah, definitely create some,
create opportunities for romance.
Opportunities, yeah. And just a lot of times the little things, they add up.
Yeah.
They do add up. And I do mean that on both sides. Because I feel like I try to do little small gestures, little tokens, hey, I bought you this, or hey, let me take care of this tonight.
Yeah.
And I mean, I feel like because I would appreciate it, so then I try to reciprocate that as well.
Right.
So
you try to show the things that you also would like in return, is what you kind of say in a way?
Yeah. And then another thing that a lot of people forget is, date each other.
Yeah.
Like, just because you solidify yourselves as a couple and y'all are in this thing, whether you're married or whether you've just been together for a while, you lose that part of what was exciting at the beginning. What do they say? Whatever you start doing, you need to continue it.
Yeah, you don't, because once you stop doing it, boy, it gets noticed.
Right, and I know people, and I know we tend to do this, but we don't necessarily have a schedule. We just do it. But I know some couples who they plan date nights.
Yeah.
Some of them they alternate. So I think that's one week it's the female or one party planning the date night, and then the next week or 2 weeks later the other partner plans the date night. So that way, and it'd be cute because you could plan to do something that, I know he would really like to do this, so I'm gonna plan for us to go do this. Or I know that this is opportunity for me to be able to do something that I want to do, and
let's hope they enjoy it with me.
Right, exactly.
Type of thing. Like, or introduce your partner to something new that you maybe both be interested in.
Right. Or just something that you may have been just kind of curious, and then you're like, you can make memories, because either if you like it, then that's great. If you both hate it, that's even better, because you have stories. Yeah. You have memory. I'm always fascinated by the couples that they have like a lot of different stories. Right. And you can just tell that they like literally have lived and have gone out in the world. And it doesn't even have to be on some grand scale. Right. But like I said, just doing like planned little date nights and just doing different excursions, different activities together. I think that's
just pick a day where nobody's at the theater and you just go and it's just you two in the theater.
Oh my God. When we went and saw Bob's Burgers on our anniversary and there was no one in the theater, that was perfect, because we could it was like we were at home, but the TV was hella big. Yeah. So just making little plans like that, keeping that excitement. Because even when we have plans to go out to dinner or something like that, I still get really excited. I'm like, I got a date. I tell everybody, girl, I got a date tonight. I can't go. I got a date
boy, don't
tonight.
Be texting me, boy.
Right, and then what I think may be good too is, just as a suggestion to me, is when you're with your significant other, especially when you're having a date, leave social media.
Yeah, boy.
Don't
care about what Jan is talking about. Don't be worried about Josephine.
Like, literally give 100% of your attention to your partner.
Yeah.
I think that's oh my God, that's
because it's kind of concerning, right? Like I know people's relationships, right?
Mm-hmm.
But when you see two people sitting at a table opposite of each other and they both sitting there on their phones and not having a conversation for the entire night,
they
you be
are
like, damn.
literally there for Instagram pictures. It's just
Or not even that. They just not talking. They just
Right.
eating and on their phones, and then they just be like, "Hey, you good?"
Right.
And they leave.
I don't know.
Or maybe they just sick of each other.
But then again, why would you want to be with someone that's not like your best friend? I don't know. I feel like your partner should be like your best friend.
I agree to that.
You know, you're my biggest fan and I'm your biggest cheerleader. That's kind of how I feel like it should be.
Yeah.
But anywho.
So let's talk about sexually. Like, do people really consider if they actually satisfy their partner sexually?
You know what? I think some do, and some. I feel like the ones that do, and the ones that don't. Like, I feel like there's extremes.
Well, do you think they don't because they don't care, or they just don't notice?
I don't think they pay attention. I think a lot of people are selfish.
They be like, "Hey, I'm finished, so I mean, you probably got yours too." So
a lot of people are selfish. Or my big thing, and we're gonna get personal with y'all today. So when it comes to the act of sex and what you like and what you don't like, I feel like, especially if sex is a big important part to you when it comes to relationships,
right,
you have to have that conversation. Like, I know, like, movies make fun of people like, so what's your favorite position? So, no, real shit.
Yeah,
you need to find that.
You probably should ask
out.
that shit for real.
And because my thing is, closed mouths don't get fed.
Yeah.
So if
you don't say that you like something, you can't be mad you're not getting it.
Or hold that conversation, because one person could have a really high sex drive and the other person's like, well, that's not really that important to me. You're going to have to think about that, and if you want to continue a relationship with this person.
So I was just about to ask you, so sexual compatibility, do you think it's a deal breaker in a relationship?
It depends, because for some people, it is a deal breaker. To me, I feel like depending on what the difference is as far as like sexual preference, activity, and all of that, I feel like sex is very important and a very important part of a relationship. But then also you have to think, well, what if something happens to that person and they can't do certain shit?
Yeah.
Like, is that going to be a deal breaker for you? And then also how much you care for that person, towards like, I love you no matter what. So even if your dick broke, I'm still gonna be with you.
But I'm not. Yeah, that's different. I think that's different because you know there's treatments and all this other stuff that I think men should be less
cognizant of.
Not necessarily cognizant of, but be more aware of, to be taking the opportunity to take that treatment.
Yeah.
Instead of being embarrassed about it and rather hide it and just continue to be embarrassed about it, but to actually take the step to get treated, right? But let's talk about something, let's say like one partner don't like foreplay. And they like, hey, I just want to get to it, knock it down.
Listen, depending on who that partner is,
let me ask you. So, do you think it would be different? Let's say, for example, if a man says, "Hey, I don't do foreplay. I don't go down, and I don't really mess with the titties. I don't really care about the kissing part too much either. You can go down on me if you want to. That's cool.
Then you gonna pay me." I'm sorry, because at this point I'm just servicing you. You don't give a fuck about me. And if a man tells you that, or if a potential sexual partner tells you that, and you know you're not with that, then don't engage. Don't go further.
Then what about if it's a female? What if a female tell them, like, as of being a female? Yeah, of course you are, right? But I mean, yes. Like, if a female tell a male like, "Yo, I don't like foreplay,"
then that's the same thing.
But then they complain to him and be like, "Look, this is," and they complain to him like, "Hey, you're not really just. I'm not having no orgasm or nothing from it." But you know what I mean? Like, can they coexist? Like, you know what I mean? She don't like foreplay, right? But she also complains to him that she don't have orgasm from sex because he finishes too fast. Because for him, it's like, because they're not doing foreplay and he's getting straight to the gravy. So by the time she's like, "I'm not." Well, then to me, I feel like she doesn't know what she needs. She really doesn't know what she needs, and the way you know what you need, one way you can find out is by self-love.
So y'all know what I'm talking about. Self-love.
Self-love, man.
Self-love. But and that's a whole other type of issue. To me it is.
Right.
But again, you need to communicate. But it's still good that she's communicating.
Right.
But then you also kind of, especially when it comes to sexual.
But is that part of like being more open? You know what I mean? Like, as far as, yes, you may not like it now, but if we slowly explore, you know what I mean? Like,
I feel like you definitely have to explore to see what you may or may not like.
Okay.
I feel like you definitely need to do that because one part of exploring, I be spontaneous with the shit.
Yeah.
Like, park behind Walmart and get in the back seat.
And knock your toenail off a few times.
First of all, that was one time. That was only one time. And I don't know how my toenail came off. But anyways, but no, be spontaneous. Try something new. Feel like, you know, we're in our 30s.
Yeah, like, do shit that make you feel young again.
Makes you feel young again. I used to think it was so, like, corny whenever, like, older people.
Yeah.
I'm like, why you over there giddying and stuff and acting like that? Child, whatever.
You can't lose that spark. Like, once you with somebody, you can't lose it. Like, do little shit. Like, go have sex in the rain. Like, you know what I mean? Like, go to a drive-in movie and just cuddle up and just... do the teenage thing.
The movie. Just be young.
Now, unless your back is bad and you got, you know, tendonitis in your knee or something, then you might not want to.
Very specific. Tendonitis is very specific. But yeah, go be spontaneous. Try some things. And again, don't be selfish with the shit. See what your partner may like. Y'all can have a conversation and talk about it.
And one way, and not only can you talk about it too, man. Like, there are different games you can also play.
Yeah, and you know what? There's even if you're unsure.
Not the little nasty dice that you can get at the like 7-Eleven. You know,
lick his ear. Okay, but no, like there's like certain like card games that you can buy. You can search them on TikTok, Amazon, whatever. If you don't know how to just initiate that conversation, right? Where they'll kind of put you in that
they're curated for you.
It's perfectly curated to get you to have that conversation that you have maybe been nervous to have before. Because even on like Married at First Sight, they make them play games like that.
Right.
To try to build up the intimacy and then more of the physical.
Kind of open you up a little bit.
To open you up. And it's a game, so you can be honest, but you're like, okay, it's under the guise of it's a game. We both have to participate for this to work.
Yeah.
So yeah, definitely doing that. Trying new shit. Again, like games.
How you feel about toys?
Listen.
Like, do you think? Because I know a lot of people think toys is a no-no in relationships.
And that's another piece of the conversation that you need to have. Like, because I know a lot of men. Why are so many men intimidated by a woman asking to use toys in the bedroom?
Because they feel like they should be enough.
And the thing is, what men don't understand is the way a lot of women are stimulated. It's not necessarily that you're not enough, but sometimes that rose can just do some extra shit. Like, I should have brought Ricky Rose in here. But sometimes it's a combination of some things.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's not that I don't want you, but you plus something else could just ramp it up a little bit.
Yeah.
Because for some women, they just need a little bit extra. It's not against men.
For sure. And I also think like some men also have to understand like sometimes the quick shot just happen. Yeah. You know what I mean? Sometimes it just happened. Yes, you hate it, but it's nothing to be embarrassed about because it happened. But it's not saying that just because you're done that the night is done.
Right. And also again, most women, if you go ahead and finish, that's fine as long as you're okay with me doing whatever I need to do to
or at least help
as well. Because the end result, the end justifies the means. Yeah.
So we all should be going to sleep peacefully together. If
you finish in 5 minutes and I needed another 36 seconds, and if that roll set on level 3 can 7 and then 3 can get you there, and so you're both sleeping good and be like, boy, we had a time last night the next morning. That is okay.
Do you think dildos are out of the question?
To me, I feel
in a relationship.
See, it's different for women because women are the receivers of the dildo. So it's more of a question of, as far as the male perspective, how do y'all feel about that? Because the question reversed for me would be like, well, do you feel like pocket pussies or you know what I mean?
Oh yeah, I guess so.
Because the dildo, we're another dick, okay? But no, no, not wait. Pause.
No, I know what you mean. No, for sure, I know what you mean.
As long as you know what I mean, baby. But no, I feel like as far as toys are toys.
Yes.
And some women are more stimulated by penetration. Some are more stimulated by the man in the boat. So it literally just depends.
Do you know some people don't know what the man in the boat is?
Some people don't know where he is either.
I know women that didn't know where it was.
Yes, that is very sad. That is very, very sad. So okay, question. So what about masturbation in a relationship? Self-love. Some men think that that's cheating.
Really?
Some men think that that's cheating, and like if I found out that or some women also think that's cheating too.
Really?
Yeah.
I've never heard that.
Because the whole goal, kind of like how men being like, I feel like I should be enough. That's the same thing. Even if you're thinking of your partner when you do it, but I'm not there. Me, her, she, we should be enough for you. Yeah, you didn't think about that, did you? So yeah, what like?
I learned something tonight.
Look at you learning. I feel like masturbation is better than cheateration. You know what I mean? Like going out and being with somebody completely different. Because sometimes
you might need one just to go to sleep.
Sometimes
like,
I don't really have a bad meeting and you need to rub one out.
And I'm just saying, sometimes I don't want to wake you up, and I just want to just go to sleep, and I just be like, "Hey, nigga, I'm just going."
But that is a conversation that a lot of couples don't have either until it happens, and it's like, "Oh my God, I can't believe you would do that. You cheated on me.
Yeah.
How am I cheating on you with myself?" Like that's a conversation that a lot of people don't even think about.
What do you think about alternative lifestyles, though?
Listen, let your freak flag fly. So. You know,
like the threesomes,
I know couples that they love threesomes. That's their thing. If that's your thing, then do it. If you and your partner are mutually satisfied by the idea and the acts of having threesomes and getting randoms from Craigslist, Backpage, wherever, or if it's people you know, or if y'all have a girlfriend or whatever,
right? I
feel like whatever works for you. We've been. You know, and the newer generations are getting away from this, but there's always been this, things have to be this way. It has to be just a man and a woman.
It has to look this particular set of way.
Right. It has to be this particular set of rules. But the more we progress as a race, society, culture, whatever, more stuff is coming out, because people have been doing threesomes and orgies and stuff for years.
Oh, for sure.
Since the Roman times and all back then. But it's just been like, oh no, we don't do that.
Yeah, like open relationships, or or if a man and a woman is married, but
they've always been a thing. Yeah. But it's just one of those. It's taboo. You don't really talk about it because that's not being.
Or you be like the Frank Mercury's, where you married to a woman.
Freddie Mercury, do not disrespect.
Oh yeah, Frank. I said Frank. Then I always say
Who
Frank.
the fuck is Frank?
The Tiger Man.
What the hell is going on in these sheets inside my home? But anyways.
So, you can be like what's some people that tie people up?
S&M?
Yeah, boy, you can be
dominatrix and stuff.
You beat a nigga on top of the head with a stick if you want to. But at the end of the day, you should be patient with your partner.
Be patient. We were talking about alternative lifestyles. So,
yeah.
You know, if you and your partner decide you want to have an open relationship.
Yeah, that people do be having them.
My thing is, whatever works for you, but also make sure that whatever works for you, as far as like those alternative. I'm saying alternative lifestyles because I just can't think of nothing else. I've been drinking. Make sure that whoever else you may be involved in kind of knows. Yeah. Kind of knows the deal. Knows what's going on.
For sure.
And then also make sure that you have like a code word or some type of system to where it's like, hey, if I don't want to do this anymore, or I'll try it, but then if the shit makes me uncomfortable.
But also understand that no still means no, even if you're in a relationship.
Listen, because thank you. Thank you for saying that. Because I can be married to you for 15 years, and if I tell you no and you still...
Nigga, I don't want it.
Anyways. But yeah. You may be a furry. When I first heard about furries, I was like, people do that? That shit is wild. I wasn't shitting on it. I was like, okay, that's new. But anyway, you be a furry, you can like the S&M shit.
Yeah, for sure.
Definitely, I feel like you kind of need to tap into your own sexuality to kind of know what you like, try different things.
To know what you like and what you don't like.
I always say try shit twice because you could have been biased the first time. You could have been inebriated. You could have not been there with a whole open mind. So at least try everything twice. But anyways, just figure out what you like yourself, because you can't tell someone how to please you if you don't even know how you like to be pleased.
For sure.
But then on the other flip side of that, you have to also be patient with your partner.
Right.
Well, put it this way. You have to at least be able to identify if you can be patient or not. Going back to Married at First Sight, there was a couple where I was like, I think they're going to work out. But the wife was a virgin. And I'm not saying the husband was like a man whore, but he definitely was sexually experienced.
Yeah, he knew what he was talking about.
One of the reasons that they broke up is because, or that they just didn't last, because he was like, I can't. I don't have.
She's too sexually immature.
She's sexually immature, and not saying that he was like the biggest freak on the planet, but you get to a certain point where you're like, I'm not teaching. I don't want to teach. I'm not saying you have to be 100%.
But I'm not teaching though.
I'm not teaching, but you have to at least.
If you don't know about this shit already, nigga, I ain't teaching.
I'm not just to go all the way back because it may have taken me a while to get here, and for you to have to go through, because you may go through your sexual journey and realize you don't even want me, and no, I'm not doing that. So you have to be patient, and if you're not willing to be patient, then you need to communicate that and just cut ties off.
Yeah, let this shit go.
Let the shit go. But yeah, now this is, and I guess you could also go back to something we've already talked about. But what do you do when your partner's not in the mood? Now, illness aside, but what if I've just been on 10 for like the past 3 days, and you just keep telling me no? Then what?
You're just gonna have to go knock one out and shut up.
Self love and shut up. Why she gotta shut up?
I mean shut up, but
shit.
But God
fuck yourself and shut up.
That's goddamn. I bet you know I'm tired. I work 13 hours.
But okay, so then you would be an advocate of, hey, I mean, you got to do what you got to do.
I'm gonna give you what I got. Goddamn it. That's all I can do. That's what I'm gonna tell you.
I can't give you any more if I give you all I got.
Nigga, that's all I got, nigga.
I ain't got no more to give because you got it.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Well, when motherfucker just went,
And I feel like there's a lot of. I don't want to say a lot, but I feel like there's couples out there. I've heard of couples out there where you've been denying me for the past like 2 or 3 weeks.
Months.
I need to get this out. Again, masturbation is better than cheateration. You know what I mean? Like, would you rather me, like, again, consider your partner's feelings.
Or at least have the conversation like, yo, I'm not into this no more.
Because it's not fair that, okay, we have sex every time you are ready.
Yeah.
Even when I may not be ready, I'm conceding because you are ready right now. Let's go. Let's fuck.
Right.
But when I'm ready, you're not in the mood and you haven't been in the mood. So that's not fair for the other person to wait.
And it don't mean that they cheating either.
Right. It doesn't mean that they're cheating. Sometimes people can legit be tired, but sometimes people do cheat too. But sometimes you can legit be tired or have a lot of stuff going on. And women, speaking to my women out here, I know a lot of times we think he doesn't want to have sex with me tonight. Men always want to have sex. He don't want to have sex with me tonight when I'm ready. Sometimes they can actually be tired. Or what I've come to realize is that, and correct me if I'm wrong, but let's say if you have a lot going on mentally.
Yeah, boy, that thing ain't gonna work.
That's the last thing on your mind.
Thing ain't gonna work, boy.
So
that's a big part of making that motherfucker work.
Yeah, of course. So it's not all, and again, just because, you don't want to have sex with me, what's wrong? What you thinking about? You stressed out? That don't mean he's just gonna give you everything at that moment.
Right.
But again, that also comes with knowing your partner and again being patient.
Right.
Like that definitely comes with being patient. Cause it's and it's funny because I've been guilty of doing this too. Where it's like, well, men are always ready. I can't believe they're not ready, and blah blah blah. I already had to wait because y'all used to waiting. Especially some of y'all just don't give a damn when Rosa comes, when that time of the month comes.
Hell
and
no.
Y'all like, I guess she's out of commission.
I ain't
right
running
now.
no red lights.
And y'all, I was gonna say something, but I'm not gonna do that. I was like, you ran one the other day, but not in that way. But when we was driving in the vehicle, yes, you did. Yes, you did. Remember, you was like, damn, and I was like, I knew you was gonna do that. But anyways, actual vehicle, red light on the street. But you again, you can't always just expect, well, just because I'm ready means that he's gonna have to be ready.
For sure.
So you just have some grace. Be patient.
Yeah.
Get a rose.
So, do you have any petty service announcements?
Let your freak flag fly. Like, literally, at this point, life is already short. We're not going to make it out this motherfucker alive. So, you may as well just...
Might well enjoy yourself.
Listen, enjoy yourself. Do what you want to do. Do not feel guilty for what you like, what you don't like.
Because it's nobody else's business at the end of the day.
Literally, it's nobody else's business but yours. And just do what you want to do. As long as it's legal. Do what you want to do.
Yeah, man.
Because at the end of the day, a nut is a nut. I don't know. I
guess so.
A win is a win, a nut is a nut. But yeah, that's really all I have to say.
Okay. So you can always find us on the social media, right?
We're on the Facebook, Instagram, Jay and Hater Podcast on Instagram. I'm at Jay Duce on Instagram.
You can find your boy, Lord Hated always.
And you can also go to www.jayandhater.com. And we're also on the YouTube.
Yeah, boy, you can find us on YouTube
and where else? And if you want to email us or leave us questions, like episode suggestions, you can definitely email us at jayandhater@gmail.com.
Or you can just hit us up on the gram.
Right. Because we ain't big.
We ain't nobody. We asked to answer.
So
we ain't got no social media like scapegoating that.
Right. So you can DM us, message us, be respectful, because you can still get cussed out in DMs.
Yeah.
So.
You got anything left?
Nothing else other than thank you guys for listening to us and tuning in every week. We always appreciate it.
Oh, yeah, man. Because that's exactly what I was about to say, right? Like, you know how we always say that, man, we appreciate each and every last one of you that take the time to listen and come back each and every week. Or if you're new, man, welcome.
Welcome to the Jay and Hater Podcast.
Right. I know we said it at the top. But, again, we appreciate it for sure.
Yes. So, if nothing else, if you guys don't do anything else, always, like we like to say, protect your peace. Bye, guys.